Expired, Madam Chair. I've got some additional questions, and I'll submit them for the record. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Senator Fischer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As many have already said today, it should be a top priority of this Congress to protect crop insurance. Crop insurance is the quickest and most efficient way to provide aid to our farmers and ranchers after a disaster. Farmers recognize this, and they often value the relationship they have with their crop insurance agents. In fact, we've heard from some crop insurance agents that farmers are sometimes even being directed by Farm Service Agency local offices to reach out to their crop insurance agents to answer questions about disaster programs. So, Undersecretary Bonnie, as we all know, FSA and RMA are different agencies. Given that farmers are being directed to reach out to their crop insurance agents, sometimes by FSA, the staff themselves, how can USDA ensure that crop insurance companies and the agents have the proper information so that they can answer questions about those FSA programs?
I'm going to turn to both of my colleagues here. One thing I think we're working to do a better job of is making sure our field offices understand our programs as we roll them out. So training is really, really important. Communication with our field offices so that they can provide answers. But let me turn to first Zach and then Marcia.
Thank you, Senator Fischer. As the Undersecretary mentioned, we're really working at collaborating better, especially within our mission area where we're all in the same realm of really helping the producer-focused aspect of the USDA. That's another thing we hear from producers as we go around the country. You already have my information. Why do I have to submit it again? Mm-hmm. So we think we've been able to address that with ERP Phase 1. Now, the question you ask about when the producers have challenges getting referred to their insurance provider, there are some things that their insurance provider has that we don't. And when we need that information, we want to make sure they're getting it from the source and not us guessing about what it might be. It's about coordination and about really maintaining that relationship that's so important between that producer and their insurance provider and trying not to get in the middle of that relationship and foul things up. It's about getting accurate information.
Correct. Do you think there's a better way to be able to get that information to the agents about the programs that you have?
So one of the efforts that we've undertaken since we've been out doing stakeholder visits and listening to our staff and our producers is there's a lot of frustration when we make an announcement and the staff don't know what we've announced about. So we've changed that and we're starting to read the staff in sooner. And we're looking to engage with our cooperators sooner. Within the FSA, we've got a lot of cooperators out there representing young farmers, veteran farmers, underserved farmers. We're looking at reading them in at that same time, and it makes sense that we would do so with our approved insurance providers and their agents as well, but I'll ask Administrator Bunger to speak to their notification process with them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the concern and the comment. We're fellow South Dakotans, I've had the privilege and the honor to now work with Administrator Ducheneau, and it has been fun. It's been a fun collaboration. I think we have really leaned into one another, and it was evident with Phase 1 and the huge success of Phase 1. I think we saw the benefits of that leaning into each other, and that's just how I think we'll approach it from RMA, is that the model will be that we're going to communicate out messages. We're going to communicate out messages for each other. We are going to answer questions when we can, and if we can't, we're going to defer to each other. As a former crop insurance agent myself, I recognize the importance of being not only good at crop insurance, but also being familiar with what was going on at FSA. And so that gave me maybe an advantage when I was out with my customers, but I too am going to lead that with that message that agents, please, please, please reach out to FSA, communicate back and forth, and we'll continue to do it from the top bottom to the bottom.
Thank you. Thank you. Undersecretary Bonnie, Senator Klobuchar and I have introduced a bill with the precision agriculture, focusing on providing loans to small family farmers and ranchers so that they can become even better stewards of the land and take advantage of that new technology that's available to be able to provide information to them to become even better conservationists. When we're looking towards the Farm Bill now, kind of to piggyback a little bit on what Senator Thune was talking about with technical assistance, I would hope that we could reach out to you to make sure as we look to the Farm Bill and be able to look at that precision ag loan act that we have, to make sure we have just the exact wording that we're going to need to get that in there for our folks to be able to jump on that and take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Really appreciate your interest in this. It is vital from a conservation, it's vital from a climate standpoint. We've got to maintain productivity even while, excuse me, we think about conservation. So really appreciate your leadership. Absolutely would love to work on this.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.